Hello and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 896. We're back on track. It's an actual Brainy Tuesday on a Tuesday. This is Brainy Tuesday, number 57. 20 questions up front. Question 21 tiebreaker at the very end of the video if you need that. All these questions are just a little tougher than the normal pub quiz. Good luck. Question number 1. The appearance of Hernando Cortez to the ancient Aztecs seemed to be the fulfillment of their prophecy of the return of this winged god. However, many people believe that the true return came on July 19, 1991, with a solar eclipse in Mexico City. What is the name of this mythical Aztec god? That god's name was Quetzalcoatl. Question number 2. During her lifetime, only 7 of her poems were published. Several of her works, most of them known by their first line, were published after her death. Who was this Belle of Amherst, and author of A Narrow Fellow in the Grass and Because I Could Not Stop for Death? That poet was Emily Dickinson. Question number 3. I heartily accept the motto, that government is best which governs least, and I should like to see it acted up to more rapidly and systematically. So begins Henry David Thoreau in what essay which later influenced Mahatma Gandhi? That was Henry David Thoreau's essay called Civil Disobedience. Question number 4. Although he is barely mentioned in the classical Hindu scriptures, the Vedas, this god has risen to a place in Hinduism's top 3. His interactions with man are told of in the Mahabharata. Who is this god who preserves the universe and appears regularly in material forms called avatars? The answer is Vishnu. Question number 5. First a Spanish possession, it was taken by the United States in the Spanish-American War. Held by the Japanese during World War II for a while, it is now an independent country. What is the name of this group of islands in the Pacific Ocean whose capital is Manila? Manila is the capital of the Philippines. Question number 6. The first turned the waters of the Nile into blood. The third caused an infestation of lice. The fifth brought disease to the Egyptian livestock. What was this series of biblical events which led to the release of the Hebrews from their slavery? There's probably a few ways you can answer this, but as long as it's something like the 10 plagues of Egypt, you are correct. Question number 7. Her failure to conceive a male heir and her alleged marital infidelity resulted in her being executed in 1536. Who was this woman, the mother of Queen Elizabeth I and the second wife of Henry VIII? The answer is Anne Boleyn. Question number 8. When an impulse reaches the end of a nerve fiber, neurotransmitters are released which carry the message. What term is given to these points at which an impulse passes from one nerve cell to another? The answer is a synapse. Question number 9. This fellow of the Royal Society was the first person to isolate benzene. What man also made important contributions to electrochemistry, where he defined the laws of electrolysis as well as coining the terms anode, cathode, and ion, among others? That man is Michael Faraday. Question number 10. Some of the more famous works of this art form include Lobster Trap and Fishtail and Blue Feather. What is this art form originated by Alexander Calder, which consists of hanging structures of wires, rods, and colored plates? Those are called mobiles. Question number 11. He founded the Louisiana Military Academy, which later became Louisiana State University. What was the name of this man who became famous for burning Atlanta to the ground and for his subsequent March to the Sea? The answer is William Sherman. Question number 12. It was first used in 1890 by William James in Principles of Psychology to describe the waking process of continuous thought. What is this three-word literary term, possibly used to the greatest effect in the James Joyce work, Ulysses? This three-word term is stream of consciousness. Question 13. He began with saying that he had done his best and that he was confident the world was now a safer place. However, he felt he no longer had a sufficient political base to continue. So on August 8, 1974, what American politician announced his resignation? The answer is Richard Nixon. Question 14. A kilowatt is equal to 1,000 watts, while a gigawatt is equal to 1,000,000,000 watts. Using a prefix which comes from Latin meaning monster, what is the term used when referring to a mind-boggling 1,000,000,000,000 watts? That is known as a terawatt. Question 15. When ordered by her captain to surrender, John Paul Jones replied, "I have not yet begun to fight." Jones took the ship and was forced to transfer his command to her when his ship, the Bonhomme Richard, sank. What was the name of this British frigate? The Bonhomme Richard sunk and he took over the Serapis. Question 16. He started out as an English major at Harvard, then switched his major to medicine and completed a medical degree. However, instead of practicing medicine, what man began writing popular novels including The Great Train Robbery, Terminal Man, and Sphere? He was most famous for writing Jurassic Park. The answer is Michael Crichton, but that would have been too easy. Question number 17. A spire was added to the top of this beautiful New York building late in its construction, so it would become the tallest building in the world. What was the name of this building that only held that distinction for a few months until the construction of the Empire State Building was completed in 1931. Before the Empire State Building was completed, the Chrysler Building was the tallest building in the world. Question number 18. This U.S. compromise, reached in 1854, repealed the Missouri Compromise and extended popular sovereignty. What was the name of this act that prompted many small battles in the soon-to-be admitted territories and led to the raid by John Brown? The answer is the Kansas-Nebraska Act. Question number 19. This religious war was started in 1618 with the defenestration of Prague, when Bohemians unceremoniously threw 2 tax collectors from the Holy Roman Emperor out a window 70 feet into a dunghill. What was the name of this war, which ended when the Peace of Westphalia was signed in 1648? The answer is the 30 Years' War. Question 20. He was engaged to a blind Sherry Bobbins until she got her sight back and realized that he was the ugliest man in Glasgow. Who is this animated Scottish janitor at Springfield Elementary School whom, when properly greased, nary an animal alive can outrun? His name is Groundskeeper Willie. All right. That is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of Road TRIpVIA. Check back tomorrow for another new trivia quiz. I'm not sure what the category is yet. I know we're getting a bunch stacked up of viewer-submitted trivia quizzes that I really need to go through. I'm kind of keeping those in my back pocket because I know next week and the week after that I will be traveling a lot, so I might have to pull some of those out and use them while I'm on the airplane or staying at the hotel. That makes it a lot easier. So not sure what my category is going to be tomorrow, but if you've submitted a quiz recently, expect it to be showing up in the next week or so. As for yesterday's Brainy Monday trivia quiz, most of you will notice that it was re-uploaded today. It was pointed out that it didn't take very long into the quiz before I had an incorrect answer. In fact, question number 1 was wrong. I put the answer as salt. The answer was sodium. I apologize. One of my main goals for this channel is to be the most accurate trivia quiz channel on YouTube. I hate playing trivia games and seeing misspelled words or seeing answers and questions that are incorrect, so I know how frustrating it is for hardcore trivia people to see me put salt when it says sodium. And I'm telling you, all you gotta do is let me know. I hate to admit this, but I've had to pull a lot of the trivia quizzes off, fix them, and re-upload it because I occasionally mess up. Sometimes I'm writing these quizzes at midnight. Sometimes I'm writing them in a hurry. There's really no excuse, but I'm only human. Sometimes I mess up, but I have no problem when it gets pointed out. Several people pointed it out yesterday. I figured I better pull this one quick because I'm pretty sure that's why it was getting so many views, because I don't know if you guys know how this works, but the more you comment on, even if you dislike a video or like a video, the more you comment and interact with a video, the more people YouTube shows it to. So the frustrating part was so many people got on there to tell me that I had it wrong, that YouTube thought a lot of people were interacting in a positive manner with the video, so they kept showing it to a lot of people. So it was on track to be one of our highest, if not the highest video in terms of views for 24 hours. But like I said, I know how frustrating it is to play a simple trivia game and look at the trivia game giving you an answer that you know is incorrect. So for everybody who got frustrated when they saw question 1 and knew right away it was wrong, I apologize. I'm going to stay on top of it, and feel free to point out at any point if you see an incorrect spelling or an incorrect answer or anything that could make this channel a little bit tighter, a little bit more professional, and the best possible YouTube trivia quiz. The best possible trivia quizzes on YouTube. That's what I'm going for. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for pointing that out. Like I said, I don't know if I would have caught it because I rarely watch them again after I make it. So if it's not for you guys, it just goes unedited. Here is question 21 for today, now that I've blabbed and blabbed. Question 21, the tiebreaker for today. It is set in Nagasaki in the early part of the century, and it tells about the love affair of a naval officer and a geisha. What is the name of this Puccini opera which tells the story of Cho-Cho-san? It tells the love story of a naval officer and a geisha. What is the name of this Puccini opera which tells the story of Cho-Cho-san? The answer is Madame Butterfly. At least I think that it is. Now you guys have me second guessing all of my answers. Hopefully that's correct. That's what the internet told me. Can't be wrong if it's on the internet. See you tomorrow.